Starmer quits as Labour leader and paves way for contest for new Prime Minister. So it's not a given yet that Andy Burnham will take the PM role, but let's sort of go through it. So, yeah, Starmer resigned. You got President Donald Trump, who commented immediately, and is a little extract from Eric Dowertree from Twitter or X, and he said, "Now, President Donald Trump says he expects Keir Starmer's replacement, Andy Burnham, as UK PM to be more liberal. It will refuse to open up oil drilling. The UK is dying. Open up the North Sea. I hear he's extremely liberal, extremely. So that means he probably won't open up the North Sea. Energy plus immigration failures are wrecking the UK. They need a Trump figure." Now, Trump didn't actually say all of that. He didn't say that last bit, but he particularly banged on about the North Sea and saying about how we buy oil from Norway, who drill it out of the North Sea and pay them a premium for it when we've got almost an abundant amount of oil in the North Sea. And Trump's talked about this for many years. We all know this. Net zero is killing us. Energy, just immigration at levels we've just never seen. It's all just mental. And Andy Burnham is not going to change that. Let's go to the next one. This is from Tommy Robinson, where's an extract from a video of two chaps talking about Andy Burnham's replacement. So Andy Burnham could be PM after just 25,000 votes. Is this democracy? Questions are being raised over Andy Burnham's path to power after being elected by just 25,000 voters in a single constituency before emerging as a potential prime minister. Is this a legitimate democratic process or another example of Westminster insiders deciding the country's future without a public mandate? Now, this also happened with the Tories, if you remember, when Rishi got in. So it's not like this is all... it's not like this is all one-sided parties. You know, this is just what the government does. It has its agenda, it sticks to it, and it goes, you public, we don't really care what you think. And it all needs to end. So there are some other key things I want to go into about Andy Burnham. But just before we do that, high level, guys, sentiment, what are you guys thinking in terms of Starmer gone, Andy Burnham coming in without going to a public election? What are your thoughts, Stu?
What are my thoughts? I mean, I was over the moon when I come out of the gym and saw on the news that he's stepping down, and then thought, shit, the realisation of even a further left colleague or candidate is going to take the role. Just needs a general election. I think the pressure's going to have to build between now and Q1 of next year, and they're going to have to... Is it going to be until 2029? I mean, it's just... Well, we'll go on to some of the things he stands for, and land tax and other issues that are going to happen to the South. It's just the whole thing is a complete shambles, and I think we just need a general election. And I think rebuild, is it called rebuild? Not reform. The other one. Who's the other ones Restore. That are coming up through the ranks? Restore, yeah, Restore. I don't know why it doesn't stick in my head, but Restore Britain, I think, are our best bet at the moment. Them all, potentially the Conservatives will get back in, because Kimmy does talk a lot of sense, I think, when you listen to her. I mean, whether they can perform for as the next party, but it just needs to. We need to get away from Labour as quick as possible. I think this could be the end of Labour, to be fair.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Jack?
I mean, cycles, Stu. Cycles.
Well, the last 14 years was a cycle, and look at it. It's just been a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, right. Pulling up on the fact of the matter that there's little public input in the process to sort of replace Starmer. I mean, first off, I don't feel that they should be able to quit, in my honest opinion, because if you're running a business and you have a couple of things that go wrong, you can't go, oh, I give up. Well, you could, but then that would be detrimental. But you just can't go, oh, I quit. So I feel that should be publicly led. So public should choose. No one's allowed to quit.
Do you mean they shouldn't be able to quit and just keep the party intact? If they quit, the party quits.
I don't think they should be able to quit. I think that there should be almost like a rolling election, that if the body of the population change their mind or they're not happy with how something's being run, they get voted out, and whoever gets voted in is by the decision of the public. Because having the mentality that it's just so that there's theories behind that he's quitting because there's been heavy local election losses, which happened obviously this year in May, the Peter Mandelson controversy. declining poll ratings and reforms rise, and Starmer feeling like he had lost his party. But none of those 4 reasons are a reason to quit. Like, they're just part of the journey. They're part of a lull. They're part of a process. And if you're in for 4 years, you've got to stay in. And I just feel it's such an unhealthy process to be able to be like, well, if these few things don't, I'll just stand back. You just can't do that. If you're leading a team or leading a country or leading a business or leading a marriage or being a parent, you can't just go, oh, just do this and then step back, see who else will be up for it. It's a very long process to become a leader of a country. Like, once you're in, you're in. Like, it's on you.
Practically speaking, though, it is different being a PM than obviously being like a business owner, because the consequences, people's lives, deaths, the country's sovereignty, you're a custodian of everyone's outcome, as opposed to a business where it is refined and restricted to the shareholders. So, and in that light as well, because it's so in the public domain, if it was a rolling election, then a prime minister may have to make a hard decision that's not necessarily popular, but it is the right thing for the outcome of the country, and they could be voted out for doing the right thing. So I think it would actually create a worse cycle of political heat.
But the right thing's the popularity vote.
But it's not, is it? Because it's the populist vote that has destroyed our democracy, because that's what politicians have started to favor on, is what makes me popular, what gets me power, as opposed to what is just the right thing on a 10-year vision. And really, my view is that the political cycles are too short. They should be more like 6 years.
I agree. But hang on a sec, just to narrow down on that populist vote, I think that's can be difficultly misconstrued between what was said would be done to gain traction and what was actually done, which is where I think if you have a more autonomy, that let's just literally say that you have like the party on your front door of your house, for an example, or like a digital platform, and you're like, actually, I don't like that. They haven't delivered on what they said. I'm going to now put my favoritism into this party of what they say they're going to do. If it is more mobile and dynamic, then if someone's doing a really good job and actually delivering on what they say, then they will stay in power for longer. We've obviously got such an archaic system. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But what I do think should change is I don't think they should be able to just quit.
I agree. I think he should, if he taps out because of the pressure of the policies he's creating, he just can't handle it, and it's clearly going in the wrong direction. It should automatically create a general election. I don't think we should be able to change a leadership, because Burnham's going to come in now with a completely new agenda. He's going to do loads of stuff that wasn't in their mandate and in their what's it, the prospectus, the thing they get, the manifesto, exactly. And it's just we're going down an even worse path that we never voted on. I think that if he was to tap out because of decisions, and the worst thing I hate about politics and the way it works with Labour and all the think tanks is that he puts all these shit policies in, puts the country on its knees, and then taps out, and then the next person comes in and doesn't change or 180. I mean, they do a few 180s on some of the policies, like digital ID and all the rest of it, but then they just try and find a back door and let's ban everyone at 16 to not go on social media. Let's give them a digital ID, like a national insurance card that will stay with them, and that new wave of people will come through with a digital ID. So all these policies that come in that are just so bad for the country never change. It's like they just take as much as they can as a brunt at the front end and then tap out, and the next guy comes in, and then no one reverses anything that they've done previously. So I just think it needs to be a completely new party. And if Labour are the right party to lead us forward, they'll get back in. And if they're not, they'll get booted out and the next one's coming. But yeah, a longer term would be better. I think even a 10-year term